Hey guys! So it is cold in Texas, which you never know, right? What it's going to be like in Texas. It could be hot one day and cold the next, but this polar vortex is definitely set down on top of us here. And so I am making warming butternut squash soup tonight, and I wanted to show you guys this because it's so easy and it is so yummy. So what you do is you're going to, let me see if I can tip the camera here so you guys can see this. There we go. So this is, let me see if I can get a better picture of this. Kind of hard to see. But this is a roasted butternut squash. So I peeled it and chopped it up, and I'm roasting the butternut squash. 2 green apples, 2 onions, and garlic, and olive oil, and a little chili pepper, actually, and salt. You roast it at 400 for about 40 minutes. Everything's pretty well cooked. And so what I do now is I put it in the blender with vegetable broth. And so you can use chicken broth if you want. This whole thing would be vegan if you're vegan. But I'm going to put vegetable broth in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about half of this in my KitchenAid mixer. If anybody have a KitchenAid out there, not a KitchenAid, a Vitamix, my Vitamix blender. I love my Vitamix blender. I'm going to move this out so you guys can see a little better there. Okay, so I'm putting about half of this in there. It's hot, still pretty hot, but you know, the Vitamix can totally handle, just because you can make hot soup in a Vitamix, right? So I roasted this and got everything nice and roasted soft so it'll blend really well. And then I am going to put in probably half of this vegetable broth, and I'm just going to cover these vegetables. So if I need a little more, I have some chicken broth, which I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. And what any good blender is going to do a good job if you have a good blender. And I am going to crack the top because this is hot and it is going to need to vent a little bit here. So open that up. It hasn't been opened in a while. There we go. Okay, here we go. Turn this on. Might help if I turn the blender on. Okay, let me see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so this is nice and creamy. All right, so that's just going in another pan, and I'm just going to reheat it, and I'll make another batch here, and it's going to fill this pan up, and that's a pretty good sized pan. So that is actually enough for 4 people or 2 people, and then you're going to have leftovers for lunch. And what's really good on top is like a little bit of yogurt. Greek yogurt or something on top, or your sour cream. If you do dairy, you can put sour cream on top of there. The recipe actually calls for pesto on it, and I have done pesto on the top of it, and it's delicious too. If you've ever eaten the autumn soup at Panera Bread, that is similar, and they put pumpkin seeds on it, which is really good. So I actually enjoy putting pumpkin seeds on there. So it's a great quick meal because you just chop the stuff up really chunky. And I'll put the recipe in the feed once this posts, so you guys have the recipe. Throw it in the oven for 400, put it in the blender, and boom, you got your soup. And it's loaded with antioxidants, you guys. Anything that has that kind of color, that yellow, golden color, antioxidants. Onions and garlic, antioxidants. Sulfur compounds for your liver detox. The green apples full of pectin for fiber, right? So it's a power-packed meal. I hope that you get warm wherever you are. I'd love to hear where you're at. We had some people this morning commenting how cold it is. So I know here it was 22 this morning. Not bad compared to where some of you guys are. All right, stay warm. Bye for now.